So, hello everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to Life on Turkey Lane. It's getting to be about supper time, and so tonight I am going to make an Instant Pot recipe. I got this recipe off of Pressure Luck. It's a YouTube channel. This guy is a really good cook. And this recipe sounded really good. I had everything that I need to do the recipe. So come along with me and we're gonna make sour cream and onion chicken. So let's get started. Okay, so like I said, we are going to make sour cream and onion chicken. Now I have thawed out some of those thin chicken breasts that I get from Stevens Discount Grocery, and we are going to start by dredging those in about, let's see, I'm going to get about a half cup of flour out here, maybe a little less than that. And I've got some garlic powder here to season our flour with, and some salt and pepper. Let's see. I'm going to use probably a little more than a teaspoon of salt. And about a half teaspoon or so of pepper. Okay, so let me get a fork and we'll just mix that together a little bit. Get our flour all seasoned up. Okay. And I'm going to take my chicken and I'm just going to dredge it in there. Now these are really a little bit thicker than what the recipe shows on Pressure Luck, but they're not that much thicker, and so you're just going to dredge those in your flour. Let me go ahead and get another plate out here, just so, well, yeah, just so we have an extra plate to do this. Put that canister back on the flour. So once your chicken's dredged, just put it on your clean plate there. We'll get this other one out of the way in just a minute. I think this is going to be super good. This is the first time I've tried it, but I bought all that, the Boursin. Do you remember me buying the 4 packages of Boursin cheese when I was at the Plaid Pantry on my discount grocery trip? And this recipe calls for a package of that, so I thought, well, this would be a perfect time to use some of that up. I got the Boursin cheese for 49 cents a package, I believe it was, and I mean, that is just a super deal. It's normally $5 a package, so I need to get some of that used up. And I will say that I have opened the package and tried it out because I had never had Boursin cheese before, and I'm going to tell you, that's some seriously good stuff there. Okay, just about got the chicken dredged. Now, like I said, we're doing this recipe in the Instant Pot. If you don't have an Instant Pot, you could do it in like a frying pan on the stove. Either way, we're doing this in the Instant Pot, and that will only take just a few minutes to accomplish. Let me get these 2 things out of the way real quick. And then we will start in the Instant Pot. Now, your Instant Pot, if you have one, has a Sauté button. And I don't know if you can see it on mine, but it has a Sauté button. Each Instant Pot is a little bit different. Mine is the Instant Pot Viva. But anyway, the Sauté button's just right down here. And we're going to start by sauteing we're going to get the chicken breast, and we're going to use a 1/4 cup of olive oil in the bottom of the pan. We're going to make sure, okay, I want to saute it on high. So we're going to do less, normal, more. So we've got that on high, and we're going to let it get hot. And while it's getting hot, before we can saute the chicken, or, you know, kind of brown the chicken a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and chop my onion. So let me get the cutting board over here. I like to try to have everything out before I get started on these things for you guys, but it seems like I always forget something. So, but anyway, I'm just going to cut this onion. Now I'm going to slice this, I'm going to cut the onion into kind of like thin strips, but not rounds. I'm going to cut the onion in half. Get the peel off here. Now save your peels and stuff for your compost bin if you have a garden or anything like that. They're good for that. And so you just, I don't know if you can see over here. Let me see if I can scoot the Instant Pot out of the way just a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And I've cut the onion in half. And I'm just going to cut this in some, just some pieces this way. Like, kind of like half moons. And I've cut them not real thin, but not real thick either. So this whole meal pretty much, except for like, now this would be, this that we're making, you could pour it over noodles or some rice. We won't be cooking the noodles or the rice in the Instant Pot, but we will be cooking the main portion of the dish in the Instant Pot. So right now would be a good time, well, after we get everything in the Instant Pot and everything, would be a good time to start your noodles or your rice cooking. So let's see if this is hot enough. Let me get my wooden scraper here. And so now let me just see, dump a little flour in there. I think that's probably about hot enough to start. We're going to do this in 2 batches because I am going to put 2 down here. And let me see if I can raise the camera up just a bit. Hang on, it might take me a second to do this, get this straightened up so you can see down in the Instant Pot. Get you kind of locked into place here. You still really can't see down in the Instant Pot, so let me raise you up again. Okay. Now you can hear that sizzling. Let me get this other chicken piece in here. We're just going to kind of brown those on both sides. We're going to do this for a couple minutes on each side and kind of get these browned a little bit on each side so that it stays a little bit crispy on the outside, or not crispy, but nice, and it gives it flavor, that does, to do that. So I've got my dredge chicken, a couple pieces in there. Save me down just a little bit more if I can. I don't want you to get you cockeyed and stuff, but just so you can see what I'm doing. I am so excited to have this Instant Pot. Now, I just got mine right before Christmas this past year in 2020. Walmart had these, the Viva, for $49. And to me, I thought that was a reasonable price that I could afford. And I'd been wanting to use one of these, and I'm telling you, I have used it a lot already. I use it almost weekly to make yogurt. And then we have made some tremendous meals in it. It's really easy to use, and unlike other pressure cookers, it's not real scary either. I've never really used much of pressure cookers before, but I know they can be scary because if you open them too soon or whatever, and the same can happen with this, don't get me wrong, but this is more foolproof, I guess. But like if you open a pressure cooker too soon, it can blow up on you or it can burn you really bad. And they really kind of take the guesswork out of this, and so it's not that bad. So I'm going to go ahead and just flip these over just a little bit. But anyway, I really love my Instant Pot, and if you don't have one yet, I would encourage you to get one. And also, I mean, I've only got the 6 quart. You can get up to an 8 quart, but this can replace your slow cooker even, because it has a slow cooker setting on it. And so you can use it like if you go to work in the daytime, you can set it on the slow cooker setting and cook your food for anywhere from 4 to 8 hours or more, however you want to do it. So it can replace that in your kitchen. Now, I haven't gotten rid of my slow cooker. I still like to use my slow cooker. But this is a wonderful tool to use in the kitchen. I really like it. It has, like I said, it has a saute mode, so you can see that the burner inside there is getting hot and causing this oil to get hot and kind of brown our chicken some. And then it also has the pressure cooker setting, it has the slow cooker setting, and it has the yogurt setting and a few other things. And I am not advocating Instant Pot brand. I know there's, I'm trying to think of one of the other brands, but there's lots of different kind of pressure cooker, instant pressure cooker type things. I just really like mine. I'm glad I bought it. And I use it a lot. So anyway, let that chicken cook in there for about three minutes aside, I guess. When I get it out of here, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the same plate that I have the other chicken, because this is not going to be done cooking. It's going to be cooked in the pressure cooker part as well. This is just kind of to brown the outside a little bit. And now these are thin. They're thinner breasts, but see how brown that got? And that's just going to be really good and flavorful and tasty. And this gets hot, so you don't want to stick your hand in there on anything. Okay, there goes in my other set of chicken. We're just going to brown those too. Like I said, I've got my onion cut up. And then also something else you're going to need, and you don't have to have fresh ones, but you're going to need some chives for this recipe. And I've got some out of my pots, and so I've got some fresh ones, but I also have ones that you get in your spice aisle. I have some of those in the drawer. I just decided to use fresh ones today. And you will need a packet of Lipton onion soup mix for this recipe, and you'll need a couple tablespoons of butter. And like I said before, your Boursin cheese. You will need 1 cup of sour cream as well. Now the sour cream, the one thing in an Instant Pot that you don't normally do is you don't put like dairy products in it while it's cooking on pressure. It does something to it and it will not do it right. So this will come at the very end of the recipe. But you will need sour cream. And I will try to leave the recipe with the amounts and stuff that you need in the description box of this video. So be looking for that. So I flip those over. And as soon as these are done browning, we will get started on the rest of the recipe. I think this is going to be just absolutely delicious. I can't wait to try it. Like I said, it's a little bit after 5 here, so I am hungry. And the nice thing about the Instant Pot is it's quick. It doesn't take long at all. So, as soon as I get these things browning out from being browned, we'll get started on the rest of it and get this thing closed up. And actually, after we brown the chicken like this and stuff, it really only needs to take about 6 to 7 minutes to, mine are thicker. Now, they did it for 5 minutes on pressure luck cooking, but my chicken breast pieces are a little bit thicker than theirs, so I want to make sure that they're done. And I'm going to cook mine an extra minute or 2. Not much though, so. Anyway, I should be playing some elevator music about now, you know, while you're waiting, and so, so you don't have to listen to me or just sit here and watch the pot cook. You know what they say, a watched pot doesn't boil, and that is the truth. I'm telling you, I have watched many a pots in my days, and they don't boil very easy. Okay, now that we've gotten the chicken out, what I'm going to do is add in 2 tablespoons of butter to my pan here. Now it still has a little bit of the olive oil left, and that's fine. But we're going to add that butter and let it start melting. And now I've got some crusties on the bottom of my pan, and just leave those in there because that makes it good. That gives us flavor. However, the Instant Pot will not cook right if the whole bottom of the pan is full of crusties and stuff. But when we get these onions in here and those onions start putting off their water and they start sauteing a little bit, we'll get the bottom of this pan pretty clean. So we won't have to worry about that. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my onion in. Get those sauteing. I love sour cream and onion chips, and I'm not really supposed to have those, but I thought this recipe sounded really, really good, and so I don't mind trying it. So anyway, we're just going to stir those around in there a little bit, get them to sauteing and getting soft. So you could use a Vidalia onion. This recipe really kind of calls for a sweet type onion, but you can use, like I used, a yellow onion, and that's perfectly fine because I didn't have a Vidalia onion or a sweet onion, and that's just fine. Also, let me get out some stock or some broth. Okay, in a few minutes I'm going to come back after these guys have sauteed, and we'll get going on the rest of the recipe. Okay guys, our onions have been softening for just a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and add some, that's actually onion powder, that's not garlic powder. Let me get the garlic powder. Now normally I would just add some fresh garlic, but I'm wanting to get to eating, and I didn't want to stop and chop up any garlic. So you could use garlic powder. But anyway, as you can see, our pan is pretty much clean down in there. There's nothing, no bits stuck to the bottom of the pan, so we're not going to have an issue with that. We'll just let those cook a little bit longer in there. And, oh, I grabbed the wrong thing. I don't need the almond milk, or any kind of milk for that matter right now. Now, the recipe calls for chicken broth, and I have chicken broth, but I already had vegetable broth open and in the fridge, so I want to use some of that up, so it doesn't have to hang around for longer than necessarily. So, let me get my 1 cup measuring cup. I try to be prepared before I get up here, and sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not. So anyway, we're gonna add in 1 cup of this broth. That'll help deglaze the pan even more. Okay. Ooh, we got some good bits of flavor going on in there, I'm telling you. Okay, so now I'm going to cancel the saute. I'm going to stop the saute button, or cancel it, okay? And then I'm going to put in my pieces of chicken. I'm just going to nestle them down in there, if I can get them off the little fork here. But anyway, I'm just going to kind of crisscross my chicken down in here a bit. And any little juices and stuff you have on your little plate, just go ahead and pour them in there, because that is just added flavor. And if there's anything I like about food, I want it to be flavored and seasoned. I don't like bland food. Okay, so we're going to put the lid on. Okay, and now we are going to, and I know that you really can't see my pot very well, but I'm going to hit the pressure cook button, and I've got it on high. We're going to go the more, let's see, no, we don't want, we're going to go for 6, we're going to go for 7 minutes, okay, and I've got it on high. And we're just going to let it start here in just a second. It'll start building up the pressure. There you go. It started beeping, and now it's on. And so it's only going to take us 7 minutes. Now, like I said, the original recipe takes 5 minutes, but they had 1/4 inch slices of chicken breast, and ours are a little thicker than that, so I want to make sure that it's fully cooked. But 7 minutes should be just fine. Okay, so I probably could have did 6, but I just want to be safe. So our onions will be they are going to be very, very soft and tender, but I like mine like that. So anyway, I will, excuse me, I haven't eaten yet, but anyway, I will be back as soon as the Instant Pot shuts off. Okay guys, so the chicken and the broth is done. So you can see that my pot says the word end there. And now I'm going to do a quick release on this. And that, if you can see back here, there's a little button. And I'm going to get my arm out of the way, because that will burn me. And it will burn you if you do it too. But we're going to do a quick release, and that just is to push that button down. And we're going to let that release until all the air is out of it and until the pin pops down. And then as soon as that's done, we'll take the lid off and we will get to cooking on the rest of this. And really there's just a couple more little things to do and then it's completely done. I am going to be putting mine over riced cauliflower. It's cauliflower rice. I get this one from the Dollar Tree. It's $1 a bag, so that's super cheap and it's really good. If you're looking for a low carb option, this is it. Whenever we have like an Oriental night or something like this, we use this for our rice instead of regular rice. And I love it. My daughter loves it. My husband, he's not the biggest fan of it, but he knows it's better for him and he does eat it. So, but that's what we're gonna do. Okay, as soon as our pin drops here, we will take this lid off and get going on the rest of this to get it finished. So anyway, like I said, I just put that in there for, I think it was 6 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes. So not very long at all. It came up to pressure and stuff. So we're good to go here. We're just waiting for that pin to drop down. The pin has dropped, so we're good there. Okay, I'm gonna just turn this back around so I can get the lid off and stuff. And whenever you open a pressure cooker, even if it's one of these, when you turn the lid, you need to kind of open it away from you in case there is any steam and stuff in there that you don't get burnt by it. But anyway, we're good here. Oh man, look at that, guys. That looks delicious. Just gonna set that over here for just a second. That looks wonderful. So we're going to take the chicken out, put it on this plate here so we can add the rest of our things to make it into our sour cream chicken. Chicken seems nice and tender. Of course, because of the flour and stuff that we added to the chicken, it kind of made our broth into a sauce. It's a little thicker. And I'm just going to stir that up there. Okay. Now, we add the package of Lipton soup mix. This is the golden soup mix, but it should be fine. So anyway, we're just going to stir that around in there and let that flavor everything. It smells good. It smells good already. See how thick that sauce is already? This is going to be delicious, I can tell. Now we need to add a cup of sour cream to this mixture. And I'm just going to use the same measuring cup that I used for the broth. It's not going to hurt anything. See if we can measure this out just a little bit. I know it's not like what a salad measure would be. But anyway, so you need 1 cup of sour cream to add to this. I think I need a little bit more here. Okay, that looks like it should be good. So we're going to add in our cup of sour cream. Now be careful and don't let that splash you, because that is boiling. I'm going to go ahead and turn the Sauté button back on just for a second so that can just, even though we don't really need to, just so that sour cream melts. And we're also going to add our Boursin cheese. Now this is the cheese that I bought at the Plaid Pantry, which is a discount grocery store, and I got it for 49 cents. Which is really cheap. So now I have opened this container and tasted it because I wanted to taste it before I went to putting it in food, just to make sure that if I like it, I knew that my husband and family would like it. And I'm just going to kind of cut this in little pieces and put it in there. This is kind of crumbly, so you don't really have to do that anyway, but so anyway, that'll give us some good herbs and I'm gonna lick my finger. because that is good stuff. So anyway, let's get that stirred in there till it all melts. See how creamy that's going to be? That is going to be just super delicious. I will leave the ingredients and the amounts to the recipe in the description box when I'm done here, when I before I post the video. And I will also put the instructions so you know what you're supposed to do and when. So anyway, we're just letting that sour cream and that cheese melt down in there. And while it's doing that, I'm going to get the chives. So, get this out of the way. Get these chopped up here. I'm going to hit the cancel the saute button because we're good to go now. Let that cool down some. Okay. I'm going to take these chives and sprinkle them in there. And then we'll use a little more for garnish here in a minute. So let me go ahead and stir that up because we don't want this burning in here and all that stuff. So it's plenty hot enough. That looks delicious. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to try this, guys. Smells good. Oh, I can just bet this is going to be awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to nestle my chicken back in there. You don't really have to do this, but I'm going to nestle my chicken back in there, let it soak in that. See, that just pulled apart right there. That's so tender. Let that just soak in the sauce just a little bit while I cook the rice. I'm going to microwave the rice. I'm not going to even... I'm not going to mess with it otherwise. So, but anyway, let's, we got to cancel that. So, I'm just going to let the chicken kind of smother in there a little bit. And then as soon as the rice is done, I'm going to come back and we're going to give this a taste test. Okay guys, so the rice is done, or the cauliflower rice is done, and I'm just going to serve a little bit of that up in a plate, and I have, my husband is going to do a taste test for us here in just a minute, so I'm going to scoop some of that on the plate, and boy, it's really hot yet. So, now like I said, cauliflower rice probably isn't his favorite, but he will eat it. It's a great lower carb option. And I can tell by the way this chicken smells that it is absolutely delicious. And so let me get a piece of that out here, and we're going to scoop some of this gravy on top of it. Oh, look, it's just falling apart there. And let's scoop some of this gravy on top of it. Let me get a bigger spoon. Scoop some of that on top of the chicken and on top of the mock rice.
It looks good.
Okay, and I'm going to turn the camera up here. Oh, let me sprinkle just a little bit of chives on it. Make it look prettier than it already is. Okay, and I'm going to give the plate to him and give the fork to him, and I'm going to turn the camera up here and let him tell you what he thinks about it. Now, he's been out working today, so he's a mess.
I'm a mess.
But that's all right, because it's just important what he thinks about our food.
I gotta sit down here for a minute and get all... Oh, it's tender. See that? It's good. Really taste the... I don't know, the sour cream ain't real strong, but it's kind of like in a background. Nice and smooth. The chicken's really good for breast. I mean, it's actually I really can't tell the difference. The cauliflower or rice, I really can't.
Yeah, it tastes really good. It's
Especially
with gravy on it. You really can't tell that it's not real rice.
No, you can't tell.
So
no, it's really good. Actually, and I'm not a big cauliflower broccoli kind of guy, but I'm trying to. But actually, I can't tell the difference in this. It's good. Yeah. Yeah, it's very.
Sorry, guys, I'm kind of messing with the camera here.
It's like a comfort food, is what it reminds me of. Something that you need, it's kind of a comforting type of food.
So is it a hit? Mm-hmm. Do you think I should ever make it again?
Yeah, definitely a hit.
All right. There's AJ over there in the background. He won't touch onions, so we're not going to ask him to give it a try. He's wanting pancakes, so we're going to make a couple pancakes for him. But anyway,
that's okay. You don't have to
I hope you'll try this recipe. I love my Instant Pot. It's really fast, and most everything that I've ever cooked in it is really good. And so, anyway, give this recipe a try. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. And have a wonderful evening, guys. Bye. Okay, guys, so I had to come back on camera. I started eating my supper after I plated myself some up. And man, am I going to tell you, this stuff is delicious. I have never had sour cream and onion chicken before. I think it's a relatively new recipe. But man, you will not be disappointed if you make this. So anyway, I'll get back off of here and let you make your own supper. But do try this recipe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.